Yes, hello everyone. Today we are going to understand the basic principle of operation of a three-phase induction motor. So when I talk about a simple motor, so if I want to uh, define what a motor is, so a motor is nothing but which converts electrical energy to mechanical energy that is being present there. So if I want to analyze a three-phase induction motor, so three-phase induction motor that is being present there, so induction, so that is due to the principle of generating the rotating magnetic field. So when I talk about a rotating magnetic field, the conductors are said to be in a constant way and constant terms, and rotating magnetic field is somewhat where you will be having the magnetic field to be in a rotating nature there. So the entire magnetic field that is being developed in the machine is said to be rotating. So if I want to have the rotor conductors to be rotating, so these are the slots that are being present there. So if I want to find out these rotor conductors to rotate, I need to have the magnets that are being present there in such motors, and all these rotor conductors in all the three phases have to be analyzed, and the fluxes that are being produced in all the three phases, phi r, phi y and phi b, have to be analyzed, and the resultant flux has to be the resultant flux is being obtained from all these three fluxes, instantaneous value of fluxes that is being present there. So in a three-phase system, you will be having either the star connection or the delta connection that is being present there. So the star connection and the delta connection. So either of these two connection, you will be using it for a conductor connection in case of the stator windings. So let me go through the derivation part now. If I want to analyze a three-phase machine here, so let me draw a winding. So this is the stator winding that is being present, which is to be energized. So these are the three windings in the three phases that is being present there. So let me call this one to be the R phase, Y phase and B phase that is being present. And if I want to connect it like this, so that would be for the delta connected network. So this finishing end, so this is R1 and R2, this is Y1 and Y2, this is B1 and B2. So B1, yeah, B1, Y1 and R1. So R1, Y1, B1, and the next one R2, Y2 and B2 are said to be the finishing ends. So these are the finishing ends and these are the starting ends of the conductor. So these are the starting ends and these are the finishing ends, F-I-N-I-S-H-I-N-G, finishing ends of the conductor. So imagine the motor to be having such connection, that is a delta connection. So delta connections of the windings that are being energized in a machine. So what would be the waveform that is being present there? If I want to draw the waveform, let me draw it phase wise. If I want to draw it, so I'll be drawing it phase wise. So this is the x-axis and the y-axis. Y-axis, you have the flux which is being present, the alternating flux or the instantaneous value of the flux that is being present. So this is the origin, and on the x-axis I have omega t, that is the radians value. So radians per second is omega, and multiplying with time, that you will be having it as radians. So if I want to find out the instantaneous value of flux to be produced, so I'll be going for the R phase first. Next, I want to find out the Y phase. So you'll be having a 120-degree phase shift. This is 90-degree, and somewhat around here, you will be having 120-degree as the phase shift that is being present there. So this is 120-degree. And next one, I want to find out the B phase that is being present. Again, 120-degree from Y phase, or from R phase, it is 240 degrees. So this one is B phase that is being present there. So these are the R phase, Y phase and B phase that are being present. So let me revert it back, or if I trace it backwards, how would the connection look like? So that was for the Y phase that I did, and this one for the B phase that was there. So let me mark this one as 60-degree, this one as 120-degree, and this one as 180-degree that is being present there. So there are 4 instances at which the fluxes are to be present there. So this is generally R phase, this is Y phase, and this is B phase that is being present there. So at the instant of energizing the phases of respective conductors, I can write 3 sets of equation for the alternating fluxes, that is being present. So these are the instantaneous value of the fluxes in all the 3 phases that is being present there. Phi r, that would be phi m sine of omega t. Phi y, that would be phi m sine of omega t minus 120 degree. So next one, phi b, I'll be having phi m sine of omega t minus 240 degrees that is being present there. So next I have phi m sine of omega t plus 120 degrees that is to be present. So I can write minus 240 as plus 120 degrees that is being present there. So these are the set of equations that I'll be writing. So let me write it again. Yeah, let me write it again. Phi r, phi y, and phi b. So these are the instantaneous fluxes. So phi m is the maximum value of flux that is being present. So phi m. So for sine omega t, like that is one for the R phase. So the instantaneous value of R phase, sine of omega t minus 120 degree that is being present there for Y phase. And for B phase, I'll be having sine of omega t minus 240 degrees that is being present. Or I can write it to be, or I can write this one to be phi m sine of omega t plus 120 degree. So minus 240 degree can also be written as plus 120 degree. Phi m is the maximum value of the flux that is being present there. So it reaches the maximum value at each and every instant that is being present there for the respective phases. So this is the maximum value of the flux, but I need the resultant flux which is being present there. So phi t is said to be the resultant flux that is being present there due to all the 3 phases which are being mentioned. From all these 3 phases, I need to get phi t which is being present there. So if I want to find out what is phi t, I need to find out the vector sum of phi r, phi y, and phi b which is to be present there. So this is the vector sum of all the instantaneous flux which is being present there, that is due to the production in the each set of winding in a 3-phase induction motor. So let me calculate it by at each and every instant. So first instant, that would be at the origin when theta equals 0 degree. So when theta equals omega t, so that will be equal to 0 degree. That is the first case there. So what would be phi r, phi y, and phi b? So phi r, phi y, and phi b. Phi r is phi m, that is phi m sine omega t. I can write it to be 0. Next phi m sine of 0 minus 120 degree. So I have phi b, that is equal to phi m sine of 0 plus 120 degrees. So omega t is theta there. So when it is being substituted by 0 degrees, so what are the values of the instantaneous fluxes produced in all the 3 phases, and what is phi t? So if you can draw the vector diagram, so R, Y, and B phase, R, Y, and B phase, all the 3 phases are said to be having a 120 degree displacement with respect to each other. So now I don't have R, sine 0 is said to be 0. So phi R is said to be 0. And what is phi Y? Phi Y is said to be, phi Y is said to be minus 0.866 phi M. Phi B is said to be plus 0.866 phi M, that is to be present there. So after substituting theta equals 0, I'll be getting 0 minus 0.866 phi m and plus 0.866 phi m, which is being present there. So what I can write it here is, I can erase R phase. I can erase R phase. Yeah, let me erase everything. So I can erase R phase, and I can write it as, yeah, R, Y, B that is being present there. R phase is to be eliminated. So Y, R, Y and B. So I'm left out with, yeah, with negative sign minus 5Y here. So I can find the relation or find the resultant flux that is to be present there, which is phi t. This is angle 60 degree that is being present there, and this is minus y that is being present. So this is phi t that is to be present, and later on the angle is 60 degree with respect to these two phase values of the fluxes which are being present by the vector diagram. So phi t can be analyzed by, yeah, so I need to find out phi t. So minus 0.866 minus 0.866 is given as root 3 by 2 with a negative sign. So next one, I can find out the square value of it. So in order to find out the square value, you can yes. So in order to find out the square value, phi t, you can make use of the law of parallelogram of forces formula. So phi t, that would be equal to phi y squared plus phi b squared plus 2 phi y phi b cos, that is the angle which is 60 degree. So angle which is being made, this is 60 degree. So this angle is being obtained here. So that is 60 degree. Phi y, the instantaneous value of flux, that is root 3 by 2 times phi m, the whole squared. I'll be taking only the magnitude. Next, root 3 by 2 phi m, the whole squared, plus 2 times cos 60, which is there. Yeah, this one is cos 60. This, next you will be having root 3 by 2 phi m into root 3 by 2 phi m, which is being there. So cos 60 and 2 gets cancelled out, and you will be having next one to be 3 by 4 phi m squared plus, yeah, so phi m squared into 3 by 4 plus, next I'll be having 3 by 4 phi m squared. So all these things, if I want to add it up, it would be 3 times 3 phi m squared divided by 4. So under the root, so next I'll be having it as 3 by 2 times phi m, which is being present, which is nothing but 1.5 times phi m. So this is the value of the resultant flux. The resultant flux is found to be 1.5 times phi m. So this one was for us theta equals 0 degree. So remainingly the second, third and the fourth one. So where theta equals 60 degree, theta equals 180 degree, or yeah, generally it is 120 degree, and theta equals 180 degree. So in all the three different angle instants, the resultant flux is said to be 1.5 times phi m always. 1.5 times phi m always. So this is the value of the resultant flux that is to be produced. Always it is said to be 1.5 times phi m. So you can verify it as many times as you want. And ns is said to be 120 f divided by p. So where p is the number of stator poles that is being present there. So p is the number of stator poles, and f is the frequency in hertz. So ns is the synchronous speed of the motor. Synchronous speed of the motor that is being present there. So synchronous speed of the motor, that would be expressed in terms of RPM. So frequency expressed in terms of hertz. So stator poles, that is always stator poles or poles are said to be in even. So stator poles is always even number. Stator poles is said to be always even number. You can verify it. So phi t, which is the resultant flux, resultant flux, resultant flux, which is phi t, which is 1.5 times phi m, and that is what it is being equal to. So in all the three different cases, so it will be equal to 180 or the 1.5 times phi m there. So you can verify it. So see to it that at all instants angle, all the instants of angles that is being present, or whatever may be the angle that is from 0 to 360 degree. So the flux, the resultant flux is said to be 1.5 times phi m. So 0 to 360 degree. So the resultant flux is said to be 1.5 times phi m, that is to be present there. So resultant flux, you have a constant value.